loves dumpy facilities. Like we found one over here in Cartersville, and it was like the dumpiest facility. I took my students to it in the infield training day, and they were all like, no, we're not buying, we would never buy this thing. And now my husband went to go look at it. He was like, yeah, let's buy that. It was like the dumpiest facility ever, like, you know, just horrible. So my husband just likes this, you know, and actually the truth is nobody knows this, but like when I first started, when we moved down from New York to Georgia, like 12, 15 years ago, whatever it was. And my husband, he left his job and he came with me. And I told him, I was like, just figure out what you want to do. You can just do whatever, because I'm the one that got the job and I was the one going to work. I was like, just figure out what you want to do. And he came back and he told me he wanted to be a junkyard owner. That's what he wanted. He wanted to be a junkyard owner. And I was like, no, we are never going to be a junkyard owner. I'm not going to be a junkyard owner's wife and just like have a junkyard, you know. Guess what? Now we have 10 storage facilities and we just store people's junk is what we do. So like Pete's living the dream, right? I'm okay with it because we make a lot of money. So, but anyway, so I like tertiary markets because the reason why is because I like to keep, my coach told me like 10 years ago when I got into real estate investing, and I'm going to tell this to y'all as a coach, all right? And I tell this to my students all the time. The way that people get wealthy is they pick one thing and they do it over and over and over again. Now, when I talked to my coach about that, 10 years ago, I was doing a $20,000 rehab, a $200,000 rehab, a $50,000 rehab, and a $75,000 rehab. Doing all those different types of rehabs is not the same thing, right? It's 4 different types of rehabs, right? So I apply that same skill, that same thought pattern to the storage investing world, and so does my husband. So we buy the same storage facility over and over and over again. We go into tertiary markets and we buy smaller facilities that are super dumpy, super mismanaged, and then we flip them. Within that first year, we flip them and we triple the value of those properties. And that is our business model. That's our business model. And we've thought about getting out and going to buy bigger ones. And we may buy bigger ones. Like, we're looking right now at a $600,000 one in Florida, which is actually a little bit bigger. It's got a lot of land, so we can expand. But we're never, ever going to get into huge, big, nice facilities. We're just not going to do that because that's not our business model. Now, that goes to say there's nothing wrong with that, because there's many, many students in my program that are buying these types, right? But like, you just have to choose what's right for you. And just like, we just know how to do dumpy stuff because that's just what we do. So we just stick to that. Okay. If that makes sense. All right. So anyways, back to the markets, right? Okay, so we're gonna look at we'll just take Austin, right? So tertiary markets is in the country. So when we go to Austin, like our goal, I have a partner, I have a lender that's like adamant on like boat and RV storage. This is what they want to do. They've got like a lot of money, right? And I'm like, fine, we'll go do bargaining. And actually there's nothing wrong with boat and RV storage as well too, because essentially you go out, you find land, you buy the land, you clear it, you fence it, you put a nice security system in, and then you just park. And there's this one, y'all can Google it. It's called Altoona Storage. I don't know if they have a website actually, but you can at least Google it. Altoona Storage here in Georgia. Altoona. I think it's like a Lake Altoona, if y'all know. I don't know if anybody knows this, but anyway, it's called Altoona Storage. I went out like driving for storage maybe a year ago, and that facility wasn't even there. The guy went out, and this is a tertiary market. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would say like secondary to tertiary markets, because it's up in the North Georgia mountains, right? And he went out, he bought 17 acres of land. He bought it for $250,000, 17 acres of land. Okay. And then he cleared 3 of those acres. How much do you think it would cost to clear 3 acres? Right. And then he fenced all that 3 acres in, put gravel down. He did like 1 row of like covered parking, and the rest is just open, Google it, like satellite imagery, look at it. And look at how he did that. And he started that thing like a year ago. He has 150 parking spaces that he charges anywhere from $75 to $150 a month. And he is full. And I'm guessing that he paid $250,000 to clear that land. And to buy the land, and then probably another 250,000 to clear it. I don't know. I'm guessing like 250, right? Because I had a facility that we were buying that was 2 acres that we were going to fence in, and we're getting quotes for it. And like, it's like a 2-acre lot, and it was going to cost us like 30 grand just to fence that thing in. And fences is like expensive. So anyway, so he literally spent $500,000 total on this thing, right? And he's making like, let's even say $75 a month, and he has 100. I sat there and counted all those parking spaces because I want to know how much he's making. $75 a month on like 150 parking spots. How much is that? I don't know. Let's calculate it. I always have my calculator with me. You got to have your cap rate calculator, your cap rate calculator app. You got to have your calculator. So 75 times 150. Let's just say he's making 10 grand. That's like 11 grand right there. He's netting 10 grand a month. And he only spent $500,000 to do that, right? So it only can take him 5 years to pay that whole thing off and then to start making a profit. I mean, to me, that's like just amazing, right? And so we are going to do that. And we'll do it here in Georgia. We're looking in Georgia as well too, but we're also looking in Texas because she lives in the Austin area. So she wants to kind of stay in Texas or whatever, which is fine. We do that, you know. And I'm originally from Austin, and my family lives like in Austin and in Houston. So like, you know, we can always just be there and go back and forth and stuff. And so that's kind of what we're looking at for the Austin area. We're going to go into the tertiary markets where all the lakes are. If you know Austin, you know where all those lakes are, right? And you know, like you could just drive around and see how much that land is and just see which ones are going to be the most cost-effective way. So obviously like Lake Travis, Austin area, that's like $250 and $250,000 an acre or some ridiculous price, right? So I'm not going to be doing that. But there's got to be some other areas, right? So I'm going to be doing market research for the next 3 days, hanging out with my family, hanging out and seeing friends because I graduated from school in Austin, and then just driving around trying to figure out where we can buy some land so that we can get out there and start building some boat and RV park. And I want to see how much competition is out there. Is there already like a bazillion, you know, facilities out there? And if so, then maybe we'll have to go to like a different area or something. And that's basically what I'm doing, market area in the tertiary markets of Austin to see if there is opportunity there. Okay.